definitely gonna be a fun week 3. But as you guys know, we have some things that we saw throughout the week that we want to talk about. So now we will jump into the him zone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like a little graphic or a little.
Yeah, we gotta the graphic. I said that kind of corny, to be honest. Just now, I don't want to water it down as I've seen other people doing that. Because the people are trying to find out about him and the thing that people like to say,
yeah.
and we're not going to water it down
a little bit.
We're not going to water it down, nothing like that. We're going to keep it as it's supposed to be, and make sure that the rest of y'all don't mess it up. So back in the him zone for week 2. Alec, you want to start off with who you saw for your best performances?
Absolutely, back with the him zone, the guys that had one type performances this week. As we said, it's a week to week thing, so the things can change, and we will power rank them as the season goes on for sure. It's not an indictment on the guy's whole career if they're on if they're on the not him side or whatever. But on the him side, first up, the guy that led that comeback against your Ravens, Tua, 469 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Gotta tip the cap, man.
It's a one-of-one type game. Like a lot of guys, Hall of Fame guys, some haven't even had performances like that. And while there were a lot of blown coverages, like he was hitting the guys, he was making the throws. So got it as you did. Tip the cap to him. 21-point comeback in the fourth quarter. That insane. Looked like they were dead in the water. So.
As a guy, people keep on doubting and saying he's not really him, and that the Dolphins need to find the next guy to be understanding for this team, this high-powered offense, and all that. For him to silence all the noise and show that all the tank for Tua and all this stuff was worth it, and that he really is him. Definitely deserves a tip of the cap, especially coming against my team. So salute to him for a great performance last week.
And then number 2, it's 2 guys, Waddle / Tyreek. I got them together.
Dang, you just piling on my team? All right.
They damn near had the exact same day. Both had 11 catches and 2 touchdowns each. And Waddle had 171 yards and Tyreek had 190. They were just feasting on that Ravens defense.
You said the exact stats, but I saw another thing that was like I think it's the first time ever, or one of the first times ever, that we've had 2 teammates both go for 10 plus receptions, 150 plus yards, and 2 touchdowns each. Like, you don't get performances like that. So definitely got to again tip the cap to both of them for great performances. I don't know if Tyreek was right about Tua being the most accurate quarterback in the world or whatever he said, but he did more than enough to show that he should have faith in him under center. So definitely salute to all of them for a great performance.
Waddle and Tyreek probably felt like they were going against the practice squad in the fourth quarter. For
sure. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
At number 3, got another booming performance in a blowout. Stephon Diggs. Let's see, he had 12 catches, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was embarrassing that secondary, those young corners that the Titans have out there.
It was
41-7, I believe, was the final score. Josh Allen could be on this list too because he continues to carve up defenses. But Diggs gets the nod here with those 3 touchdowns. That was a great performance, and I think he was saying I'm him once again as well.
He was saying I'm him. He was demanding the ball. There was a point, I think, in the third quarter where they got down to like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and he was standing lined up on the outside, lined up one-on-one against one of the rookie corners. And instead of going for it, they tried to drop the defense off sides. And Stephon, you can see him on the side, was pissed. Like, yo, I've been cooking this dude all game. Like, just throw me the ball. Like, why are we doing all these extra scheme things to do that when I can just do my thing? And he came up in the very next possession and had that 3rd touchdown to really ice things for that game. So he was in the zone like we rarely ever see. Fantasy-wise, it was funny because we saw how great of a performance that, as you just mentioned, Tyreek and Jalen had. And they should have been top performers of the week. But they had like 42 points, 41 points, and somehow Stephon Diggs shot past them and had like 45. So he, even without great performance, those 2 had, he found a way to outshine the both of them with his individual game against the Titans. That was on Monday. So definitely salute to him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this next guy, former Trojan, so you'll like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's killing it since week 13 of last season. He's been killing it every single week. Like him and Jared Goff clearly have a rapport there. He's seeing like 12 targets a game every single game.
Yeah,
and he's converting most of them into catches. He had 9 catches, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 68 yards rushing on 2 attempts. So he was all over the field. He was killing the Commanders, and he was feasting, and he's looking like, I mean, right now I think he's top 5 wide receiver as far as stats goes.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking like he could have a top 10 receiver year this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, USC has no problem turning like receivers into pros. The issue is more with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
receivers tend to do pretty well for them at the pro level, and Amon-Ra is a great example of that for sure.
Absolutely. He's been cooking. People weren't sure he would make this leap after last season. He showed great flashes last year, but to now take the next step from that as the clear number 1 in that offense definitely has been great to see. I've seen folks fantasy-wise that I keep alluding back to. People still don't know to the point that he's still on a lot of people's benches, and they were like, wait, what? He had 30 points on my bench? I didn't see that coming.
That's a must.
Yeah, so he's now definitely a must-start. People learn their lesson after just 2 weeks. Like, he has shown that he could be that guy. And, yeah, I'm just glad to see the success. Gosh, the success he's continuing to have. Excuse me. Yeah, so, yeah, definitely salute to him for that.
Yeah. And then lastly, on the him side, I got Garrett Wilson, the rookie. He had 8 catches, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns in that comeback win over the Browns, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Flacco is top 5 in passing yards.
Elite. Didn't do it against my team, but hey, I knew he was still him. He's still there somewhere.
I guess so. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, that's a great. People talked about kind of comparing the breakout that Justin Jefferson had in his rookie season, like week 2 or 3, with a similar type game. Garrett Wilson potentially could carry on that type of performance for the rest of the season. And even with Zach Wilson, it might be a slight upgrade the way Wilson likes to sling it.
Yeah, we shall see.
So we'll see how he continues the rest of the year. But those were my 5 or 6 guys, because Waddle and Tyreek were a duo there.
No running backs this week?
No real him type performances for me. Nick Chubb had 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't like a huge yardage day for him either.
And they lost that game, right? To the Jets. Yeah, to the Jets.
Yeah, to the Jets. So
yeah, you can't give them that.
They weren't really big. Like Jonathan Taylor got blanked by Jacksonville.
Right.
Derrick Henry continues to get off to a slow start. Dalvin, same thing. Saquon, thought we were going to have a pretty big game against the Panthers. Not so much.
No.
So, yeah, there wasn't really a huge running back performance this week like that.
Gotcha.
But the MVP, I was looking at Tua, and he looked like the guy, but I'm going to give it to Amon-Ra. I think he's having a really killer start to the season, and I think it'll continue. Like, I don't think it's a fluke. And he had a huge day. So I'm going to give it to Amon-Ra for the MVP.
I like that. I respect that, of course, USC guy. So definitely salute to him for that. In regards to him, dominance is the person that comes to mind. And Stephon Diggs looked untouchable on Monday night. So I have to say, if I put my vote in for one of your guys, it has to be Diggs for that one. So, yeah, I like Amon-Ra a whole lot. He had a great performance, but Diggs looked like he was one of one. Like, there was nothing you could do with Diggs on Monday.
Dave Davis was out, and he absorbed all those targets.
Exactly. He did everything you needed for him to do and more. So I have to say Diggs is my him of the week, MVP of the week there. So definitely a fun one. And before we get to mine, let's actually go ahead and do the flip of yours. Do you have a not MVP as well?
Yeah. Real quick, too, I had honorable mentions. Lamar, we talked about him already. Jalen Hurts, great start to the season, the first 2 weeks. Josh Allen, of course. Carson Wentz, who you touched on. I think he's top 3 in overall passing yards, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking like how he was in that MVP discussion early in those Philadelphia years. So we'll see. And then Cooper Kupp continues. Like, he could probably be on this list every single week. So I'm just giving him the honorable mention because it's like LeBron in the MVP voting. Like, you don't want to keep voting for him every year.
You got LeBron status already after 2 weeks?
Okay. Like, he's doing it every single week.
Okay. All right, I'll do that.
He had maybe the best wide receiver year ever, too, last year. So, not him. Ryan Tannehill. This Tennessee offense looks abysmal. He had 117 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Part of that is not all on him because they don't really have a down the field threat, but the offense looks abysmal and he's looked very pedestrian. So
I will say this. It's not fully to the same extent as this team because they were a little bit more well-rounded, but it's starting to feel a little bit like the Jared Goff Rams a little bit, where like they gotta just flip that quarterback and the right quarterback in that system will figure it out and help elevate them a lot higher than maybe we expected. Obviously the Rams had been Super Bowl team already and got Stafford and kind of right the wrongs that they have of Goff and got to the Super Bowl and got to do their thing. But just as a team that feels like it's a quarterback away, even with other things going on, I feel like if they got another guy in there besides Tannehill, because Tannehill has not fully got it done on that squad and has come up short when they needed him. If they can find that quarterback, because I think they don't have a full, they don't have a true deep threat. As you said. I still think that the right quarterback could make use of Treylon Burks and make use of Robert Woods and having Derrick Henry in the backfield. I think the right quarterback could really take advantage of. And I don't think Tannehill's doing that. So, I feel like the Titans, I don't know if they can find their version of a Stafford out there. I couldn't think of one off the top of the head who could be a potential guy on the move. But, I think that they got to figure that out. Malik Willis is nice as well, but still has shown that he has some things to learn as well, too, in that backfield. So
maybe they should have traded for Jimmy G when the sweepstakes were going on the offseason.
True. Maybe that was the one. I don't know, but they got to figure out something because they were our pick to be the top of that division, and they started up 0-2 so far. So I don't know if they're going to have enough time to bounce back, even with the Colts and other teams struggling as well. So, we'll see about that. But, I agree that Tannehill is not him this week.
Number 2, Kirk Cousins. You like that? I don't like that.
Nope.
Kirk Cousins, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. 2 of them, I think, were to Darius Slay. They looked really bad against the Eagles. And we were expecting a more competitive game, just the way they started off and how electric the connection between Kirk and Justin Jefferson was.
Well, I did ask in our quick picks. I was like, there is some kind of thing about Kirk Cousins in big games.
He continues to choke in prime time.
I was concerned already, and he did not help himself at all. So, definitely a bad performance there.
I mean, if we expect Justin Jefferson to be the offensive player of the year, him and Kirk are going to need to be on the same page, and Kirk was not quite there against the Eagles.
Last thing. I still think Justin could be player of the year, but as I told you, I don't think Kirk can be the guy for the most yards. Around. I'm telling you, he'll get Justin the ball, but the rest of them guys, it's tough for him. So, we saw that on display on Monday.
I don't think he's eclipsed like 280 yet this year.
Nasty. Not him.
This third guy is on your fantasy team, Kyle Pitts. 2 straight weeks with 2 catches for 19 yards. Now,
3.9 fantasy points each week so far. Not happy about that.
It's a nasty look. I'm not 100% blaming it on him.
No.
Arthur Smith had some questionable comments in the post game about trying to win games and it not being fantasy football. But if you're trying to win games, you'd think you would try to target your tight end who you drafted like 5th overall.
It's like take fantasy out of it. You drafted him 4th overall. Use him. You don't draft a decoy as your 4th pick.
And he's supposed to be like
a cornerstone,
the best tight end prospect like ever, maybe. So
and he still has the build. He shows flashes.
He has
don't give him the ball.
I don't like him being on not him. I don't truly believe that he's not him. Like I think if they use him correctly, he can be 3rd best tight end probably in the league after Kelsey and Andrews. So, they really got to figure it out in Atlanta as far as how to use him correctly. Like, they clearly have a good connection between Mariota and Drake London. I think you can use Pitts in a similar way. Like, he has the profile of an elite wide receiver, too. So, it's been a tough look. If you're a fantasy manager that has Kyle Pitts, hopefully better days are ahead. But I don't know after hearing Arthur Smith talk about him.
I believe he started kind of slow. I think he actually had a good debut. Then after that, kind of had started. Then had a.
I had him last year on my team. He was very boomer bust.
Very up and down. But still finished with like 1,000 yards. So even though he only had, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns in the season, he got some more receptions and things and add it up. So I think there's still a lot of room for him to improve. They played the Seahawks this week, who I think are a defense that can be exploited just enough for him to get some more touches than what he's had so far.
Seahawks at home with the 12th man is a little bit different environment.
Sure. But I think there's still room enough for him to get the ball more than he has so far. I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, I think him being in this is more about the scheme thing, the team, than actually him and his performance there. So I hear you though.
Yeah, and then lastly, I got his former quarterback. I got retire him on this one. Matt Ryan, 195 yards, 3 interceptions, 0 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know Michael Pittman, his wide receiver 1, was out. I know that they really don't have a true wide receiver 2, but to put up 0 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a solid defense, not elite, not bad, but 0 points with Jonathan Taylor, one of the best players in football on the team, is embarrassing. Starting off, I guess they're 0-1-1 now because they tied the Texans.
Nasty.
Matt Ryan was supposed to be a slight upgrade, they thought, I think, over Carson Wentz, and he's looked like a severe downgrade to this point.
Wentz said, watch this. My gosh.
Matt Ryan, it might be time for you to hang up the cleats. You got to show me something in week 3 because it's not looking pretty right now for Matt Ryan and the Colts.
You think he should pull Andrew Luck and just retire after the game next week if it doesn't go well, or what?
I don't know what the backup is. Andrew Luck, man, like he was a really good quarterback, and they just did not protect him. Like if he had the protection that Wentz got and Phillip Rivers got, like they might have had a Super Bowl type run.
Right,
with Jonathan Taylor as he is. So tough break for Andrew Luck, but Matt Ryan needs to follow suit and retire for sure. Yeah.
Wrap it up, bud. That's tough.
So that's it for my not him of the week.
Gosh, yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree that those guys definitely are not him this week. I was trying to think off the top of the head because you have that as your segment, and then I kind of have my other stuff. Yeah. I couldn't think of who I also would put in this segment, but I definitely agree with all the guys that you had there. Definitely another good one. So you guys in the comments and those watching, definitely let us know who you guys has your not him of week 2, and we'll definitely talk about those as you bring them up. So definitely fun things in that regard. Now moving on to more fun things as I talk about for my Him Zone segments, best pregame fits, best celebrations and things of that nature. I'll start at the top with the fits themselves. Definitely were a lot of fun ones. It felt like guys took a minute. The guys like to post their pictures and things and make sure they got all styled right. At first, I felt like guys were taking a little too long to post their pictures. I wasn't seeing a whole lot of pregame fits before games. All I saw were a few guys had some nice all-black fits. Xavier McKinney for the Giants was honorable mention, a nice all-black suit. Jalen Hurts on Monday night going there had a nice all-black suit as well, nice shades on, all that kind of stuff. Definitely was a good thing. But once they got all the pieces that they wanted right and got all the angles and whatever they needed to do to get their fits off properly, I started to find a whole bunch of more guys that were shown to really put on Sunday and Monday. So Donovan Peoples-Jones for the Browns, while the game might not have gone well for him, definitely had a nice fit as he was going in. He had a green Bottega Veneta sweater as well as the Bottega Veneta shoes on the bottom. Had some Montfrere jeans on that had a nice two-tone pattern to them that I really liked. Those definitely were cool. While I was going away from the all-black, AJ Green had a real nice all-black Amiri fit on that I really enjoyed with the chains popping and all that kind of stuff. Really liked that he had on Sunday. And then going away from that, Rashad Bateman, loved what he put on. It was like a brown cardigan, had like a pink stripes along it as well. Definitely had a real nice pop to it. Had some flares on the bottom as well that I really liked, as that's the trend right now. Definitely love when folks rock those. And it's red ricks on his feet that look nice as well. Those definitely were impressive. And then the one that popped the most to me, and I wanted to find a picture of it. I wanted to put it on here if I could, but maybe I'll put it up on the screen later on. How do you say his name? There was a guy. His name is, I think he says Davon, D-A-V-O-N. Gacho. He plays for the Patriots. Had this real crazy outfit on with it was like a white low shirt. It's like I almost want to say it's like a cloudish type design with black and blue and a little bit of gray mixed in. That really complemented him real well. And then he had some Issa Miyake pants on the bottom that are real dope. It had a real wide flare to them. Loving the full flare and loose style that has come back around. I would not really 90s style. It's definitely a more modern look to it, and definitely loved how he rocked it. Then he had some Geiger Air Force Ones on his feet that really just all together looked great on him, and I really enjoyed that. And I actually picked him as my fit of the week. Really enjoyed how he put it all together. It's a crazy fit. I'll show you again afterwards. But yeah, definitely enjoy how he put it on, and definitely were some impressive fits that I saw on
throw
Sunday.
The pictures up for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely have the pictures up. Yeah, you guys will see. But yeah, Devon Gotcha for the Patriots. I know the Patriots aren't exactly my team, but when I see guys that put on, I gotta give them credit where it's due, and he definitely did that. So salute to him for that. And then moving on, that was best pregame fit. Some other ones, best TD celebration. I got 3 that were good and then 1 that was bad, but it's for a funny reason. The one that I really enjoyed, Devontae Adams caught a nice touchdown against the Cardinals and went up and wanted to do a full dunk on the goalpost, but went under the legs and faked it. You know it was a fake. It really looked cool. I like how he did that. I think it's a fine these days now if you dunk on the goalpost. Okay. So he went and faked it like he was going.
No fun league is still at it.
Couldn't put it through, but really still like that celebration a whole lot. And another one that I really enjoyed, Stephon Diggs, one of his 3 touchdowns. He caught one and did the genuine thing. Yeah. Little head nod thing. That was really funny. Definitely enjoyed that. And yeah, that definitely was a fun one. Another one, I said we were going to see a whole bunch of the gritty this year, and I thought it would be from Justin Jefferson, but actually this one that we saw came from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jalen Hurts. Okay.
Yeah, he ran a touchdown against the Vikings and did the gritty versus them, and that's why I had to point this one out. Doing it again.
I thought you were gonna say the Mike Gesicki one.
Oh no! See, that was my one bad one. That was the funny one. Mike Gesicki doing the gritty. That was the bad one. And while it was bad, it was just hilarious because
that was funny though.
Completely wrong. And he was like, I practiced in the mirror and thought it was good, but it didn't quite come out as I thought it would on the field. So yeah, Jalen's gritty, Devontae's under the leg dunk, Stephon hitting the genuine, and then on the opposite side, kinda. Gesicki doing his version of the gritty, the white boy gritty, whatever you want to call it that. Definitely were my celebration of the week. So definitely some fun ones there. I've noticed that not always, but it seemed like there are times when the camera cuts away before guys can celebrate. They made a big thing a few years ago once the rules didn't say that guys could celebrate, and we saw the most elaborate dance moves and choreography and everything. But now these days, I feel like they only let guys really show on the move that they want in celebration.
I saw one. It was like I think the Packers, they were like pouring up shots or something for each other, like with the football.
Right. So all types of stuff like that. There's not as much of the team full choreographed stuff these days. But even in that, either way, there are times where I was trying to find it, and you would see the highlight, and right before they showed the celebration, it would cut off. So hopefully the NFL going forward make sure that shows how guys show themselves celebrating the end zone and all of that, so we can have more discussion. But those that watch games live and know this guys having fun celebrations, definitely let me know about those in the comments as well. So I'm sure there are plenty more that I may have missed. So a good thing there. And then the last one.
I was gonna say Jalen Waddle could probably be on there every week.
Oh yeah. Like I said last week, I mentioned that last week for that reason. You can put the Waddle in here every week if you wanted to, with how he's going to be doing that. So definitely a fun one also. And then going on beyond that, best extended plays or trick plays or however you want to describe it. There were some great ones. This first one actually isn't not exactly a trick play, but I had to call it out. Devin Duvernay with that opening kickoff versus the Dolphins. Yeah, definitely when you see kick returns like that, have to give a salute to that. That was an impressive play. Duvernay didn't do a whole lot more in the game, to be honest, after that. But even still, that one play definitely started us off in good in a good momentum, with great momentum. And definitely want to salute him for that. So definitely was a great one. Another one that I saw, while there are many plays that we saw, Diggs caught 3 touchdowns against the Titans. Those were the only scores in that game. And Josh Allen had a nice screen play to Gilliam, I think, who was their fullback. They brought down when the receiver motioned them down that they were going to do a run the opposite way, do a little play action, turn back the opposite way, and Gilliam caught it and had to kind of take a step back and bounce around and fight his way through. ending up in the end zone. It definitely was an impressive play that had to be mentioned this week amongst all the other ones that the Bills were able to pull off. So there was salute to Josh and the Bills for that. Creativity there in that play. And then another one that's an extended play, Mahomes against the Chargers on Thursday night, was scrambling and ran around, was trying to find somebody, couldn't find somebody, but ended up finding McKinnon going into the end zone, and he had a little sidearm. Everybody loves his sidearms and no-look passes and all of that. Yep. He was able to find McKinnon going into the end zone, and definitely was impressive how he was able to sling that to him and get him in for a touchdown. So definitely it was a great one. And then the last one that's kind of in the same lane as Duvernay, Mike Jackson for the I think it was the Seahawks. They had blocked I think I read that right. They had blocked the field goal.
Yeah,
and he returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You don't step that too often.
Yeah,
so just wanted to salute him for that impressive play. So definitely a whole lot of fun ones. If I had to pick one, really like the design of that Gilliam play. So Josh Allen and Gilliam, I think, were the best trick play I saw of the week. So if there are any other ones that you guys saw, definitely let me know about those as well. And that's a quick hymn zone for you guys going on for week 2. So definitely fun things there. And that actually is not it for the hymn zone. We want to start adding to it. We had a whole lot of good segments that we had already in regards to the hymn BP and all of that. We're going to be adding to it as well. I wanted to add a them segment. You have him for the individual guy having the best performances of the week and things of that nature. And I wanted to also add a them highlighting the best teams as we go along. We actually won't talk about it, and we won't have a ranking this week.
Right.
What I wanted to do was every 3 weeks as the season goes on, we will have an official them ranking for the best teams who we think for the best Super Bowl teams that we believe are positioned to make runs. There are teams right now that are hot, like the Washington Commanders or like the Lions, who we pointed out. And as good as they are, I don't know if they're going to be Super Bowl contenders as we go on down the line. Sure. So the them segment is more pointing out who we think is continue to put themselves in best position to make a run in the playoffs as we go on through the season. So we'll have our first one after next week, and looking forward to that. But yeah, definitely want to continue adding to the hymn zone and continue to have more fun segments for you there. So good stuff there. Anything else in the hymn zone you wanted to mention real quick, Alec, or is that all?
No, I think that's all.